Welcome to today's episode. My name is Adeen Shabir and I'm a final year BSc Psychology student at Beaconhouse International College, Lahore. And today I'm very honored to host Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri, an eminent educational pioneer and a leading figure in Pakistan's private education sector. As the founder and chairperson of the Beaconhouse Group, the largest education network in Pakistan, with a global presence in 9 countries, Mrs. Kasuri has significantly shaped the educational landscape in Pakistan. From founding the first Montessori in Lahore, which laid the groundwork for private education in Pakistan, to establishing Beaconhouse International College, her contributions are both profound and wide-reaching. With a rich background in applied psychology and business and a passionate advocate for women's empowerment, Mrs. Kasuri's vision and leadership have not only enhanced educational opportunities but have also empowered countless women in the educational sector of Pakistan. Today, we delve into her inspiring journey, her impactful initiatives, and her vision for the future of education in Pakistan. Welcome to the big podcast, ma'am. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so I'll start by congratulating you on Beaconhouse completing its 50 years and reaching such great heights, as it started from a single project by you, the Montessori, and now it has so many schools around the country and all over the world as well. So such great projects always start with a clear vision and a plan, which lead them to reach such great heights. So for the next 50 years of Beaconhouse, what are your vision? What are your thoughts and plans and visions like? What do you see for Beaconhouse to flourish and reach even greater heights?
That's a very difficult question to answer. I thought, since I'm not going to be around for the next 50 years, and what's going to happen is something which none of us can predict today. I, frankly speaking, today did not think of all the changes that have come about in education on account of technology. And how many of us thought of artificial intelligence coming in and the challenges that it would pose. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing in many ways from the education point of view. Online education, blended learning, and all those things are things that, when I started 50 years ago, I couldn't have thought of that. It was not something which was, we did think of using technology, but in different ways. So I just feel that whatever vision I set out for Beaconhouse may fall short of of what's happened in the world in terms of the technological changes that have taken place, and I don't want to set out a vision which falls short of what is the need of the day. So basically, what I would like to say is that the next 50 years, I hope that Beaconhouse is able to keep up with the changes and be a part of the changing environment, not just be led by it, but to also lead in the changing environment and lead wherever there is need to improvise, to make things better, to improve the situation, to improve the learning, teaching and learning environment. And that's the best I can say for the next 50 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. So now I would also like to highlight the fact that you got the LivingLegend award from the STPI, which is a great achievement. So I would want you to share your reflections on receiving that prestigious award, and how, as students at Beaconhouse International College, how can we take up on your legacy and move it forward?
LivingLegend award came to me as quite a pleasant surprise. The person who got it the year before I got it was my mentor.
Oh, that's
and the
amazing.
person I looked up to, in many ways. And he worked in this building for many years, and that's Mr. Sattaj Aziz.
Yeah.
He was the Vice Chancellor. He passed away some months ago. He was the first Vice Chancellor of the Beaconhouse National University. And I looked upon him as a mentor. And the fact that I got that award after he got it was it was just as great an honor for me.
Yeah.
And it was something that I cherish, and it's something that I feel so happy and so you know I feel that my efforts and my work and what I've done has been accepted, has been people have appreciated that.
Yeah, they've recognized
which is great for everyone.
Yes.
Whether it's a woman or a man or whoever it is, it's wonderful to be appreciated.
Yes. So, how do you think that we can take it forward as the students of Beaconhouse, especially at BIC Lahore?
Look, the point is that you are students. You obviously have some ambitions about what you want to do in life, and one should always try and do the best that one can within one's ability. And also, you're a student of psychology, I understand.
Yes.
That was my subject as well.
Yeah.
Nowadays people, as they go along, and after some years, if they decide that there's something which is more challenging, more interesting, you should not feel that you can't change.
Yeah.
You can change. People do change mid-life, mid-career. They do make changes. I mean, I'm not suggesting that you change, because it's my subject also, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. But I'm saying that's one of the things that you can always do. And whatever you do it with conviction, do it with love, do it with passion, and do it with discipline, please. Because that's something that I have found is very lacking. I'm not saying in our students, but it's generally lacking. Discipline is lacking. And I feel that discipline is very important in anything that you do. So you do whatever you do with passion, and inshallah you will succeed.
Yes, thank you for the tips. So I would also like to ask you about future projects and initiatives that you envision that Beaconhouse would one day also include in its wide itinerary of projects. It started with Beaconhouse Group, but now we also have Concordia colleges, there is TNS and educators, and there's so many projects. So do you see some other kind of project, like Beaconhouse International College, the latest addition to the pack? So do you see any other initiatives in your mind?
We have just 2 years ago launched the charter schools, United Charter Schools, UCS. And those schools are doing very well. Again, it's education. So when you say initiative, most of the initiatives that we take are in the education sector. Even though there are some which are non-education related also, but most of them are in the education sector. And as we see need arises, and we feel that we can make a contribution, we can play a role, we come in. I don't have anything in mind right now, but if I see that there is something that Beaconhouse can, there's something where Beaconhouse can play a role, certainly we would like to play a role. We would like to, because our knowledge of education is so vast, our network is within Pakistan, we are so spread out that we can take advantage of our presence in Pakistan to come into different areas of education.
Yeah, just like Beaconhouse International College came in, brought international education to Pakistan and made it accessible to us. So yeah, that was a great initiative. So other than that, I would want you to share the key, reasons or the principles behind Beaconhouse's such long success. We see that there are a lot of startups even in the education sector, but they often fizzle out very quickly. What are the reasons and the principles that you followed that led to such a remarkable success of Beaconhouse, and it has just improved over time? The quality of education that Beaconhouse has provided has always gone up. So what are the reasons behind it?
education, you've got to have a passion for education. If you're a teacher, and if you don't have a passion for teaching, you'll never be a good teacher. And if you're running a school and you don't have the passion for running a good school, for making it the best school, whether you end up making it the best school or not is another story. But the fact is that you should have that ambition that mine must be the best school. And what makes a school the best school? It is the quality of education that you give. It's a holistic education. The teaching and learning environment, how well the students are learning, how happy they are, how happy are their parents, and are you providing them opportunities for growth. So those are all the things that one needs to think of in a school. And what is very important, what I discovered, or rather found in the first few years of launching Beaconhouse, was that a lot of people took teaching as a sort of a default profession. They felt that they weren't trained to do anything else. पढ़ा तो लेंगे.
Yeah.
That was the that was sort of like what most actually, because it was dominated by women, so that's why I'm saying women. I'm not saying it in a derogatory manner, but most girls felt एक तो ये है that they felt that it was a half a day's job. They would come home in time to look after their families and give lunch to their husbands or whatever, and then they felt that they didn't need any special training for it. They could just go. If they had a BA degree, they could speak English. They'll be able to go into the classroom and teach, which was the impression I felt needed to be dispelled. And that was when I introduced teacher training, and we sort of went and we made partners with schools, training institutes in the UK, and obviously we couldn't afford to pay their fees because they're very expensive colleges and institutes in the UK. So we had to find an arrangement whereby we could offer these facilities to our teachers without overburdening ourselves. And this was a sharing sort of a thing, in the sense that we, as in Beaconhouse, we would contribute to it, and teachers would also contribute to it, because we couldn't afford to contribute the whole thing. And we brought most of the training in Pakistan with trainers from the UK happened in the summer, because that's when they were off.
Yeah.
They were off, and they could come to us at lower rates. And a lot of them agreed to come to us and teach, train.
Yeah.
Not so much teach, but train. So we started the training, and the training program went through so many different stages. And I think that is what brought in quality into Beaconhouse, and that is what is something which everybody else picked up also, and they realized that this was the need of the day.
Yeah, everyone actually commends Beaconhouse for its teachers training programs, and that is something which completely changed the educational landscape.
It absolutely changed, and it changed the mindset. You see.
Yeah.
It changed the mindset of ladies, of people who wanted to go into teaching, and they realized that no, they did need some form of training. They need some form of training.
Yeah, they didn't see it as a backup job.
It wasn't a fallback choice for them.
Yes, exactly. So, as we have discussed that Beaconhouse has changed Pakistan's educational landscape so much, like it brought a new idea of education, and it brought standardization to education. Like even if you visit like a campus of Beaconhouse in like a far away city, you would still see that the quality of education is the same over there. So how do you say that the Beaconhouse group is able to maintain that standardization. And if you look at like overall educational environment in Pakistan, would you like to reimagine something in the general environment of education related to maybe the employers, the students, teachers, the whole educational group? So would you like to change something?
Beaconhouse and other private schools, and I'm not just talking about private schools in the fee range that Beaconhouse charges, but also private schools in small towns. There are private schools which are charging 500 rupees a month and 1,000 rupees a month. In villages, there are private schools which are charging like 200 rupees a month.
Yeah.
They're private because this private as against public, as against government. Yeah. Because government technically does not charge anything, and so education is supposed to be free. It's a separate issue that there's no education. I mean, it's free, but it's not there.
Yeah.
So the point is that I would obviously like somehow or the other, because we are unable to reach the larger masses who require this facility and this education. We are not able to we are only able to reach out to those who can afford to pay for education.
Yes.
And education should be available to everyone. It's a basic human right.
Yeah.
So we would like to be able to play a role in that. And I feel that technology is something that can help in bridging the gap between the rich and the poor.
Exactly.
Today you have a telephone in your hand. Yeah. You hold a telephone, I hold a telephone, and the person who's doing cleaning the school is also holding a telephone. It's an equalizer.
Yeah.
Technology has done things which have equalized a lot. I find that people who work in the at the level of the junior staff level, people who are like drivers and office boys and all, they are sometimes better with using technology than I am.
Yeah.
मेरा phone कई बार my telephone sort of does something that I don't know how to handle it. I usually call my parents and say, देखो इसको क्या हुआ है.
Yeah.
So they're very good at it.
Yeah.
So that's something that one can use
totally,
to equalize this difference.
Yes, and we hope that one day we actually see it for ourselves, that education is available for all, and I hope that Beaconhouse plays a role in it. Yeah.
Would love to play a role in that. Would love to play a role in that. The fact that we are not able to reach out to people who can't afford Beaconhouse is something which bothers me.
Yeah, we wish that happens very soon, inshallah. And thank you so much for taking your time out for this very insightful conversation. And I would again say that it was a pleasure meeting you, and you've been a role model, and not to me, to the masses, to everyone. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome.